Hello, and welcome to the Sisters of the Shire podcast. I'm Abby,
And I'm Ashley.
and our podcast is all about talking about our love of Tolkien stories and maybe introducing or helping you through some that you might have missed.
This season, we are covering the Unfinished Tales, Tolkien's extended version / alternate universe / deleted scenes of a lot of the stories from the Silmarillion, plus some bonus content that didn't quite work with the Silmarillion narrative flow.
So, whether you've read every book cover to cover, or you're just here because you're curious about Tolkien's other works or had a hard time reading them, all are welcome.
Now let's dive into the Unfinished Tales.
Woo, let's go!
Let's go! Woo-woo! Abby, it's been so long.
I
And
know.
I apologize to our audience. It is my fault. My husband came home after being gone for like a month and a half for work.
More like
And
2 months, be
it
real.
was seriously like 2 months, yeah. And just like him coming back and just like the balance of the force shifting, and then that sale that I do twice a year was like the week after he got back. And so it was just a little crazy town at our house for a little while. And every spare minute I had was like consumed. And Abby like has work and like other children or something. So every minute I had, she didn't have. And it was not happening. So we
Yeah,
appreciate your guys' patience.
it was, like, we have stored up, like, 1 episode, so if we, like, miss a week, it's, like, we can, push it, you know it doesn't go so long because we had some extra episode in, but then we ran out of our extra storage episode, and we're like, "No,
Yeah.
wait."
Yes.
Um,
Oh, and then on top of that, it was your guys' spring break that you had to work all through. And then it
uh-huh.
was my kids' spring break, which I had to work all through. It was
So
crazy,
fun.
y'all.
It was so
So fun.
fun. But how have you been? I feel like I haven't talked to you in a while.
I am doing great. I already got my shopping in with the JBF sale. That's what it's called, the Just Between Friends sale. I only found one Lord of the Rings items. I was a little disappointed in the world, but do you want to know what it was?
Yes, always.
It was an Aragorn Funko Pop. I was like,
What?
and this is coming home with me.
Was it a King Aragorn or was it a Strider?
A Strider, which is,
Oh.
the better one, in my opinion. So yeah, I got that, and I found like all sorts of Harry Potter stuff. But did I find any, Lord of the Rings stuff? Not really. The Lord of the Rings fans weren't there for this one, but I'll always have my eye out. How have you been?
Well, I was gonna say, I feel like you're just taking all the stuff from the previous sales and like, man, all of our like Lord of the Rings stuff is going so quickly. There's this one girl that comes and swoops in and grabs it all. I've been good. We've been busy. We switched roles. My husband's gone. He's been
Oh,
gone for over a week. But yeah, just like soccer schedule. I have 3 kids in 3 different soccer teams, 3 different soccer schedules, 3 different soccer like, Luna plays on Tuesdays, like, her games are either Tuesday, Thursdays, or Saturdays. Her practices are Wednesdays and Fridays. Oakley's practices are Mondays and Tuesdays, and he plays on Friday nights. And Fox's soccer is Tuesdays and Thursday practices, early morning Saturday games. So I'm trying to do it all.
how? And you
Yeah,
coach Luna's team, right?
yeah. Yes, I coach Luna's team the Wednesdays and Fridays, which are the only weekday days that I work, so I go straight from work to practice, and then I get to come home.
I saw something on Instagram that was showing this girl, and then it was showing like the passenger seat of her car, and it was just like filled with bags. And it's like when you leave your house at sunup and don't come home from sunrise, like until sunset, and it's like because you have like all of these like changes of clothes and food and like
Yes, exactly.
yeah.
There are a bag of soccer balls, a bag or a bicycle, and a, bag of sweatshirts and, like, cold weather things in the back of my car right
Mm-hmm.
now. Because 'cause I'm like, I have to figure out someone has to be bored during soccer, so I brought a bicycle so that he could play with it, and then, like, it's crazy. And then I don't think we talked about it last time, it's been a while, but, we did celebrate Tolkien Reading Day. We did. Didn't for some reason, my post didn't work, all my
Oh,
pictures
no.
that I put up. I think it was because it, like, didn't upload all my photos.
It was too
Anyway,
amazing.
it was
The
too
internet
cool.
could not
It was
handle
too
it.
cool.
Yes. Yes.
So we did celebrate Tolkien Reading Day as a family. It was during our spring break, so it was pretty fun because all the kids were home, so we got to celebrate, like, all day long, and canonically, in the book, that's the day that the ring was destroyed in the book, March 25th, I think that's what it was.
Uh-huh.
Um, and so we had a plan. My mom was also a part of it, and we dressed up like hobbits. My husband dressed up like a wizard, and we walked to my mom's house, like a little fellowship, and they were all dressed up, and it was really cute, and we went, and my mom had a big outdoor, like, fire pit thing, and so I read from the part of the book where they destroyed the ring while my kids threw Funyuns into the fire.
What Tolkien would have wanted.
Yes. "What are these Funyuns?" Um and then we also roasted donuts, ring donuts over the fire, cause duh, another ring, a delicious ring. And we
Mhm.
had a big hobbit dinner, and it was really cute. We did celebrate, right, it was awesome.
I mean, it sounds like you did. I don't know. I don't remember what I was doing. I think I was having a crazy work day, which is not what Tolkien would have wanted. So I need a the Hobbit Day redo or something.
Yes, it's true. It's true. We'll do it
Well,
again, we'll do
every
it
day
again.
can be Hobbit Day in your heart, really.
It's true. It's true.
So, when I was looking at the recap, I was realizing I had already started working on the next episode because it had been so long, and I like, every spare moment, I try and sneak little tidbits in when I can to work on the podcast, and so I sent you the wrong outline. I apologize. Don't look at it, there's spoilers.
Oh gosh.
Um,
No.
not the spoilers. So, I sent you the right one while we were talking, but so
Oh.
that's on me, but I would ask you how much you remember, but it has been, so long. Would you
Oh,
like to do
well,
the recap or
I do remember that Aldarion comes home and Erendis was so over it. She didn't want him there. And then he didn't even wanna see his kid, which first of all, I was like, "What?" And then
Mhm,
he wanted to go he didn't even wanna stay long enough to, like, be with his child. He's like, "You know what? I actually gotta go." So,
mhm. Nobody likes me here anyway, I'm
yeah.
leaving.
And so he was gonna leave in the middle of the night or something, and then, like, he's like, "I'll just, like, being prince or king or whatever, I'll make my family come to me now." And then I think he tried leaving? I don't know. That's all I remember.
He's like his grand idea was, "I'm gonna sneak out really, really early in the morning and then, yeah, have, my daughter summoned to me in Armenelos." But he walks out the door and Arendis is just standing there. Like, "Where do you think you're going?"
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it was a real awkward meeting. He's like, "I want my daughter to see me." And she's like, "It's really early. Are you sure you want to do that to, this adolescent child? Have you ever woken up a child before? They are angry bears." And he's like, "Yes, the king commands it. I mean, I command it." And she's like, "Your funeral." And Calumet comes out and she's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, just a guy passing through, but I admire your sassy spirit. Sounds like me." And he's like, "Well, bye." And then he meets up with his other dudes that were visiting their families. And he's like, "Oh, they're actually like happy to see them. Why isn't my family happy to see me? Poor me." And then he goes back to Armenelos all by himself. And it's very ominously says, "And he never came back to Emirae ever again."
Drama. Very soap
Drama.
opera.
Yes. So, are you ready to hear what's going to happen next?
Go, go, go!
Okay. So, it's not exactly what happens next because we're actually going to go back in time a teensy bit. Because remember when Aldarion very first came back and he went and saw his dad first, and his dad was like, "Hey, you should probably check out things at home." And he's like, "I would if I knew where home was right now." And then, Aldarion went to go find his family. But remember, with that, he gave Meneldor a letter.
Oh, yeah.
We finally get to know what it says now.
What did we say before? We're, like, saying that, like, Gil-galad was like, "Will you be my pen pal?" Right back.
Oh, yeah, we said it was a chain letter. If you do
Yeah,
not send this on to 10 friends,
yeah.
Morgoth will come back from the
Yeah.
void. Yeah.
Or he opens it, it's just glitter everywhere. Oh, dang it. Again!
Okay.
Those elves! I knew it, they're bad news.
It's not glitter, it is mithril like shards or
Yeah,
something.
he's like, "No! Come on! It gets everywhere!"
You know that doesn't come out.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Aldarion has just left the room to go on to have a very awkward conversation with his wife, and we pick up with Meneldor, who is left alone with this letter. He immediately notices that it's from Gil-galad because it is sealed with white stars upon a blue rondure. Apparently, a rondure is a graceful, rounded curvature, a circle, or a sphere. So, why couldn't he just say a blue circle? Because it's Tolkien and he likes fun words.
Okay, okay.
So, this letter from Gil-galad was sealed, meaning the contents of the letter had to be important, and also noting that Aldarion did not break said seal. Interesting. The outside of the letter makes it clear that it is only meant for Meneldor. It says, quote, "Given at Mithlond, or the Great Havens, to the hand of the Lord Aldarion, king's heir of Numenor, to be delivered to the High King at Armenelos in person."
Dang.
Yeah. So not your casual note that you pass in, history class. This is sit down before you read it kind of energy.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah. Okay. So this letter is like quite how do I say it? As Lizzie is saying from her little cave, quite a lot. She's not wrong. So I'm going to quote it in pieces so we can take it all in and analyze it. Bear with me. Here's
Okay.
the first part. Quote, Erenion, which means descendant of kings, Gil-galad, which means star of radiance, in case you wanted to know, son of Fingon, to Tar-Meneldor of the line of Erendil, greeting. The Valar keep you, and may no shadow fall upon the Isle of Kings.
Whoa, fancy.
Yes. I wish we could have formal greetings like this again, like, the caffeine uplift you, and may no child backtalk to you today. Or, may you have the best of hair days, and may the traffic flow freely on your journeys. Like, I just want these, like, kind of, like,
Blessings be upon you.
blessings be upon you. Yes. And here we get a footnote from Christopher saying it is recorded that Erenion was the given name of Gil-galad, Star of Radiance, because his helm and mail and his shield overlaid with silver and set with a device of white stars, shone from afar like a star in sunlight or moonlight, and could be seen by elvish eyes at a great distance if they stood upon a height.
Whoa, cool. That'd be
Yeah,
really cool if we get to see that in the Rings of Power show.
that would be really cool. Because,
That
yeah, I
would be
don't think
awesome.
I mean, he fought, like, a little bit, but I did not see any shiny helmet or shield or mail. Was it
Stars,
that
shiny
shiny?
stars.
I want shiny stars, yeah. And in case you were wondering, like I did, wait a minute, wasn't there a guy in the early days of Beleriand in the Silmarillion that had a really shiny shield too? And to that I say, correct, gold star for you. That was actually Gil-galad's grandfather who died trying to take down Morgoth single-handedly and was described as, quote, Fingolfin gleamed beneath it as a star, for his mail was overlaid with silver, and his blue shield was set with crystals, and he drew his sword Ringil that glittered like ice.
Oh,
So,
it's so cool. I wish we
yeah.
could see it. Oh.
Mm-hmm. So, like grandfather, like grandson. Okay, so Gil-galad continues. He says, quote, "Long I have owed you thanks, for you have so many times sent to me your son Enardil Aldarion, the greatest elf friend that now is among men, as I deem." Like,
What?
excuse me, what?
Wait. Wait. Hold up. First of all, how many times you've sent him to us?
Yes,
Like, um, there's some
exactly.
miscommunica has he been saying that, "I've been sent here by my father?" And then second, like, it's like when people are like, "Oh my gosh, he was the greatest guy." It's like, actually, he was kind of a jerk. Like, I don't know if you guys realize that, like, he was actually not that cool, but I guess in, like, the circumstances that he was with you, he was really cool with you, but, like, with everybody else, he was kind of a jerk, so
Mhm, mhm. So yes, I had the exact same notes. Was Gil-galad under the impression that Meneldur actually sent Aldarion to Middle Earth? Is this him assuming this? Like, of course, your a king would send his, heir and as like a representative of Numenor, or is this Aldarion's story? Like you said, like, oh yeah, my dad totally he keeps sending me here. I don't know why, over and over again.
he says I have to stay here for, like, 5 years, ugh,
Yeah,
darn it.
yeah. And exactly like you said too. I'm glad he's the greatest elf friend for you, Gil-galad, but greatest son, husband, father, he is not.
Do you think Gil-galad, when he like, if he ever knew how badly he treated his wife and child, he'd be like, "Ugh, absolutely not," and take
Yeah,
away
you
their
go home right
friendship
this instant.
bracelets, said, "You don't get this
Yes,
anymore.
I do think
Goodbye."
I really think Gil-galad would. Okay, so continuing the letter. Quote, "At this time I ask your pardon if I have detained him over long in my service, for I had great need of the knowledge of men and their tongues which he alone possesses. He has dared many perils to bring me counsel."
Hmm, okay.
So he
Sure.
stayed past the time he promised repeatedly because Gil-galad asked him to? Like, no. No. Like, and it's for like this secret mission for Gil-galad? And also interesting that Gil-galad is asking for Menelzor's pardon and is apologizing to Menelzor because I don't think Aldarion has done that once.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
even if it was true and Gil-galad was the one who was making him stay longer, he could have said that to help explain why he was gone this whole time instead of saying, like, "I just would rather be over there than being home with you." Like, a little bit of an explanation might have helped Erendis feel like, "Okay, he's doing something important." Like, it's not just him being selfish.
that right there, you are going to ask yourself this entire episode.
Oh,
Why
no!
didn't he just tell someone? It really would have helped his cause. But no. It's
Ugh.
almost like okay, this is what I imagine. So, like, let's say Aldarion was the kid that was, like, always late to school or whatever, and then, like, his mom writes him a note like, "I'm so sorry he was late to school. He had to help, an elderly woman cross the street, and he had to, save a kitten from a tree," like, all this stuff, but, like, Aldarion's like, "No, I just was sleeping in and I was late to school." Like, does Aldarion even know, like, this letter that was, like, saying all these things?
Oh gosh. Uh,
Like, "Make it
you
sound
know
good, Gil-galad."
yeah, and it's so funny because it's like, he didn't have to explain everything. He didn't have to explain everything. He could have said, "I am working with Gil-galad. It is a matter of, like, safety for people."
Yeah, yeah,
An honorable thing.
yeah,
But for him to be, like, secretive, it's like in the movies when they're like, "To save your life, I have to leave you, but I have to be a jerk about it."
yeah,
And
yeah.
they're like, "I don't love you anymore, I have to go." And they're like, "Wait, what?" And they're, like, so confused. They're like, I can't I can't be with you anymore. You thought I loved you? Ha, ha, ha. I was actually lying. I go," like, stuff like that where they're, like, trying to break it off and make them look like the bad guys, so then they don't like them
Yep.
anymore.
There's a bit of that, yeah. So Aldarion is not just the guy who keeps leaving his wife. He's actually out there in Middle Earth gaining a reputation, apparently, of like this hero of men.
Ugh.
And Gilgalad continues to explain that Aldarion just didn't overstay for fun. He was actually needed by Gilgalad. Quote, "Of my need he will speak to you, yet he does not guess how great it is, being young and full of hope. Therefore I write this for the eyes of the king of Numenor only. A new shadow arises in the east. It is no tyranny of evil men, as your son believes, but a servant of Morgoth is stirring, and evil things wake again."
Uh-oh.
So, like we kind of talked about before, yeah,
Ruh-roh.
this is the Sauron building his army again kind of times. So, this is not like a fake thing that they're just imagining is happening. This is happening. But why is this a secret? Why is this like, why couldn't Gilgalad explain this to Aldarion too? It might dash some of that full of hope naivety that he has.
Maybe it's like, they say in the, like, scary scenario, government scenario movies where they're like, "We can't let the public know about this because then there will just be mayhem. Everyone will freak out."
I suppose, but I mean, do you think the more people that would know, the less likely they would be to fall to said servant of Morgoth? But, whatever. So, quote, "Each year it gains in strength, for most men are ripe to its purpose. Not far off is the day, I judge, when it will become too great for the Eldar unaided to withstand. Therefore, whenever I behold a tall ship of the kings of men, my heart is eased."
I mean,
Like,
sure.
we can't handle it on our own. This, Aldarion coming here all the time makes me feel a little bit better that we have this, relationship together. But if the Eldar can't withstand it, what makes him think that these men who are so ripe to its purpose can help? And like later on, history will prove that they are not able to withstand it.
Oh, it just reminds me of in Shrek when Lord Farquaad is like, "Some of you may die, but that
Yeah.
is a sacrifice I am willing to make."
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me, like, Gil-galad's like, "We'd love to have the men," so it's, like, not super all of the elves that are dying.
Yeah. Yeah. But, like, I mean, it's not exactly a spoiler because we've talked about this before, and, those of you should have read the Silmarillion before reading or listening to this one, or it'll be very confusing. But, when Sauron does come to Numenor, it is, like, so easy for him. So, like, this is just, like, maybe he should have told someone, so it wasn't quite so easy for Sauron, like, because
Well, yeah, like, giving any warning to be like, "Hey, if someone starts talking to you about this stuff or, like, trying to, like, 'Hey, you should come help us over here,' be like, 'I learned about you. You're the bad guy. I
yeah,
shouldn't go help you.'"
yeah. And, like, I think I'm pretty sure they know it's Sauron when they do start, this war not war, when Jerkface what's his name? Ar-Pharazôn, like, challenges him, like, I'm pretty sure they know, but it might have led to a bit more, I don't know, knowledge of the enemy beforehand, and granted, it's far away, but I'm just saying, like, my overall point is that, like, if Gil-galad thinks that the men of Numenor are less ripened to their purpose, to Sauron's purpose, history is gonna prove that very wrong. Like,
It's
they will
true.
still be almost too ripe for its purpose. He continues, quote, "And now I make bold to seek your help. If you have any strength of men to spare, lend it to me, I beg. Your son will report to you, if you will, all our reasons. But in fine, it is his counsel, and that is ever wise, that when assault comes, as it surely will, we should seek to hold the Westlands, where still the Eldar dwell, and men of your race, whose hearts are not yet darkened."
Hmm.
Like, Aldarion knows all the reasons Gil-galad needs more men, although he doesn't know it's, a servant of Morgoth or someone more, scary than just an evil man, tyrant, possible person, and he has really wise counsel to give to Gil-galad. Like, what how would he have gained this wise counsel? Because all he's done is sail around. Like, it doesn't have any military background to, like, weigh on, like, what
Let me give you some advice. Leave for
Yeah.
multiple years.
Yes.
Ditch your wife. It worked great for me.
Yeah. Like, are we talking about the same Aldarion? Like, you would consider Aldarion wise? What?
Hmm.
Yeah. Like, I just don't are we talking about the same person here? Quote, "At the least, we must defend Eriador about the long rivers west of the mountains that we name Hithaglir, our chief defense." Now, here's the visuals that I have for you.
Hold on.
So,
Eh,
I made them small, but I'm gonna make them big now.
okay.
So, Eriador, basically where the Shire is going to end up. Eriador is called the Lonely Land, which is so sad. Hithaglir is the Misty Mountains, so everything west of the Misty Mountains to the Blue Mountains or the coast. So we have like Lindon, Mithlond, the Grey Havens. So it's just a lot of the land of, as we know now, the Shire, but it's also kind of uninhabited at the moment. Mainly has the elves kind of like in the Rings of Power scenario.
Okay, okay.
Now, Hithaglir, like I said, is the Misty Mountains. It's the mountain range that has quite a few landmarks we know from The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. So it is dividing the Shire area from a lot of the other areas Fangorn Forest, Lorien, Mirkwood, all those fun things you might see on there, like the Mountains of Moria, Caradhras, that they try and pass over.
So, okay. So I'm looking at the map and
Yeah.
there's Rivendell on the left side of the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
They try to go over Caradhras.
Uh huh.
Doesn't work, goes under mountains in Moria. That's when Gandalf dies,
Mm-hmm.
goes through, and then that's when they go through Lorien
Mm-hmm.
after, and then, like, they are saying, like, he didn't that's when Galadriel was like, "Oh, he didn't make it Gandalf didn't make it through." So it's
Yeah.
like I'm just, like, in my head, like,
Mm-hmm.
watching the movie in my head, looking at the map of how they did that.
Yeah, yeah. So obviously that is quite a ways down the road, but those are the map areas that we are looking at the moment. So Gilgalad continues, quote, "But in that mountain wall," referring to the Misty Mountains, "there is a great gap southward in the land of Calenarthon, and by that way inroad from the east must come. Already enmity creeps along the coast towards it. Now the land Calendarthon is actually one we know quite well because later on it would be known as Rohan. So, like you were saying, when the Fellowship tried passing over Caratharas and they're talking, when the hobbits are all cold and it's like, let us not, go over the mountains. Let's go under it. But then Boromir's like, let's make the gap for the gap of Rohan and make the way to Ice City, whatever. So that gap of Rohan, this is the gap that Gil-galad is referring to. Is let's see, if you scroll down a little bit further, I'll make this one bigger. So this is kind of the end of the Misty Mountains, and then we have Isengard right there, and the gap of Rohan, and then this river that leads to the coast. Yes.
So, seeing the map of it is very interesting because it's like you can understand, like, when Merry and Pippin get stuck in Fangorn Forest, which
Mm-hmm.
is next to Rohan, and then the Gap of Rohan is right by Isengard, and so that's why Wormtongue could be there so quickly. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
then, so is the Gap of Rohan where Gilgalad is talking, like, is the bad things happening? Is that what he's saying? Like, there's
This is
bad
where
things happening there?
the badness is creeping in from the east to the west, which the Easterlings. That's always kind of been the breeding ground of the bad guys. He's just saying that this mountain range is a good defense because, it's hard to cross over mountains. But this gap here is a vulnerable place where they could cross
Oh,
easily.
okay.
So this gap at the moment is being left undefended. And
Eh.
he's like, this is probably where the enemy would get through if I were, the enemy. But if you look, okay, you see there's a river and it has a really funny name, Gwathlo. I'm sure it's pronounced differently, but that's just how I have to say it. Do you see it there? Gwathlo. And then it goes
The one
down
next
and
to Gondor?
no, up. So that's the River Ison, which is of another river we have heard. But a
Oh,
little bit,
the
yeah.
Gwathlo goes through Rivendell.
Yes. So, and then it goes down, and then it gets to Mondair.
Okay.
There is the little inlet, or they're called havens. So, Londair, it is the same and is what Vignalande is. Vignalande is the settlement that Aldarion settled,
Makes?
makes,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
And that's his haven that he keeps revisiting. And remember, like the walls fell down. He's gonna have to make these walls again. And oh no, bad guys took over my haven again, so I had to push them out. So that is the kind of area. I'm not sure why they didn't choose lower, more south towards Gondor on the River Ison. For some reason, they think, oh yeah, this is the place we need to defend. Maybe it's a bit more north so that they can cover more ground. I don't know. But are you picking up what I'm throwing down here? Is
Yes.
this making sense? Okay.
Yes.
So Gil-galad continues here, quote, "It could be defended and assault hindered did we hold some seat of power upon the nearer shore. So the Lord Aldarion long has seen." Uh-huh. At Vignalande, by the mouth of Gwathlo, the river's name means grey flood, he has long labored to establish such haven, secure against sea and land, but his mighty works have been in vain. Like, they just
Oh.
keep falling down. The walls just keep falling down. I don't know why. Quote, "He has great knowledge in such matters, for he has learned much of Círdan, and he understands better than any the needs of your great ships. But he has never had men enough, whereas Círdan has no rights or mason to spare." Rights as in
Huh?
like
Yeah,
W
yeah.
rights. Yeah. So Aldarion apparently is capable of defending such a place, but he never had enough men. That's maybe why he wanted the big, huge whale of a ship to bring
Oh,
more men
well of
over.
a tale I'll tell you lies.
Yeah.
A whale of a tale or two. Sorry,
You are
it
gonna get
got
that stuck in my head all day tonight. So Gil-galad basically has confirmed here that Aldarion has been right this entire time about the danger, about the need for preparation, all of it, which imagine being Meneldur reading this after years of disagreeing with your son. Like, I guess that haven he just had to build and had to keep up actually had a point other than a cool place for Aldarion to hang out when he went to Middle-earth. Like, it always just seems so random to me that, like, and this is my place, but I'm only going to visit it every few years. Like, it never made sense
Yeah.
until now.
I mean, how he treated it, if you're from coming from the other side, it does just sound like his getaway vacation home.
Exactly. I don't understand. If the threat is coming from the east and he wanted to protect the west, how is a haven on the west coast supposed to stop anything from the east?
It's
Like
to
you would
run
think.
away!
Yeah.
Run away!
Yeah. Quote, "The king will know his own needs, but if he will listen with favor to the Lord Aldarion and support him as he may, then hope will be greater in the world. The memories of the first age are dim, and all things in Middle Earth grow colder." So the first stage is obviously when Morgoth was running amok. So he's like, not a lot of people remember those bad times, but things are starting to get a little colder like they were then. So let's not have that happen again. And it does seem true. Like, even just in the reading of things, Middle Earth, in comparison with Beleriand, does seem colder and less colorful. I can't explain it other than the lack of elves,
They do make things prettier.
right? Quote, "Let not the ancient friendship of Eldar and Dunedain wane also. Behold, the darkness that is to come is filled with hatred for us, but it hates you no less. The great sea will not be too wide for its wings if it is suffered to come to full growth. Monway, keep you under the one, and send fair wind to your sails."
Oh. Again, we need more cooler goodbyes in
I
our
know. May your gas tank be full.
and no one cut you off in
I
traffic.
know, yeah. And may the green lights be ever in your favor. But he has a point. Like, we are in the same boat. The evil force is going to hate you guys just as much as they hate us. So, no one is going to be safe, is basically what
So,
he's saying.
it doesn't matter if you're way over there, they're
Hmm.
probably gonna get over there someday.
Which he will.
He
Gilgal is
does,
not
he
wrong.
does. We've got
Yeah.
proof.
Hmm. So this is when I can't help. I don't know. Daddy Menaldor is how he will always be in my head. He's just going to be this sweet old man that I just want to give a hug to. And like, there's no way in my head he could possibly be a villain, like, ever. He's just this sweet old man, right? Like, I can't picture him any other way. So imagine him. He's just finished reading this letter that has just blown his mind and like reshaped everything he has ever known. It
Huh.
just, yeah, yeah. Quote, Menazor let the parchment fall into his lap. Great clouds borne upon a wind out of the east brought darkness early, and the tall candles at his sides seemed to dwindle in the gloom that filled his chamber.
Oh,
I know,
poor guy.
I know. So that is a lot for Daddy Menaldor to take in, and he is just shooketh. And he says, quote, May Eru call me before such a time comes. Like, I'd rather not be alive when all this goes down, please. Like,
Yeah,
uh,
oh.
can I not be here for this horrible thing?
Yeah.
But, Menaldor is wise. He cherishes Numenor and its history. Above all, he is loyal to the Valar. Quote, When the Valar gave to us this land of gift, they did not make us their vice regents. We were given the kingdom of Numenor, not of the world. They are the lords. Here we were to put away hatred and war, for war was ended, and Morgoth thrust forth from Arda. So I deemed, and so was taught. In other words, we were
I thought
gifted
he
this
was
land.
gone.
Yeah, we were gifted this land to put away our weapons after that terrible war, and we live under the lordship of the Valar. We are just chillin' in safety and peace here.
Yeah.
So it's a little, he's like, but I thought we were done fighting. I thought Morgoth and all the
I
bad
thought
guys were done.
yeah, I thought he was gone. I thought we
Yeah,
beat him, and we
yeah.
did it.
And we thought we did it. Sorry, you're adorable. Quote, Yet if the world grows again dark, the lords must know, and they have sent me no sign. Unless this be the sign? What then? Our fathers were rewarded for the aid they gave in the defeat of the great shadow. Shall their sons stand aloof if evil finds a new head?
Yeah. I mean, it's like that thing where it's like they're blissfully unaware because 'cause they're like, "Oh, our ancestors took care of it. We don't have to worry about this anymore." And then when it comes, like, literally, like, right at their doorstep, they're like, "Wait, no, we were prepared for this, like, we thought that we didn't have to deal with this stuff. We thought we were
Mm-hmm.
good. That's why they gave us this island."
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting that he has a point. Like, how come the Valar haven't given him any message of this evil growing? How? Because they they are in a very good relationship and even have like a line of communication almost with the Valar, with their like Neneltarma Eagle, FedEx service that they have.
Awesome.
They could get a message to the Valar if they wanted, and the Valar to them. But how come he's like, I've been good. Are they mad at me? They haven't sent me anything lately.
Yeah. We've been a little busy over here partying.
Yeah. So he doesn't have enough information to know how to act here. As far as he knows, these whisperings from the evil in the east may not even be real. So does he just take all of his Numenorian men away from their peaceful lives and start readying them to face an enemy he knows nothing about? He says, quote, train
Mm.
craftsmen and tillers in the midst of peace for blood spilling and battle?
And so, like, no one yeah, it's kinda like the thing I was saying. The government would be like, "No, we can't tell anyone." They'll start freaking out, and
Mm-hmm.
then it'll have mayhem and people rising up of being freaked out and the mob mentality and
So what's interesting is that you say that, but then he continues here, put iron in the hands of greedy captains who will love only conquest and count the slain as their glory. Because there's going to
Oh.
be the one guy that's like, "Yes, give me the battle," and like it was better that he just did not.
Have that opportunity.
Yeah.
We
It's a
don't like
simpler
that vibe around here.
yeah, it's a slippery slope knowing the history and weaknesses of men, sadly. So,
Mhm.
he's like, "I really don't want to do that to my people. They've known peace for too long." But what is their other option? Quote, or to fold hands while friends die unjustly. Let men live in blind peace until the ravisher is at the gate?
He's in a real pickle.
Mm-hmm.
He's in a real pickle.
Mm-hmm. This is just an impossible decision for Menador's conscience because he is a very he thinks a lot. He's like a very internal processor, I would say, where he likes to think through every scenario. He's not just a, fly by the seat of his pants, irrational decision. He thinks things through. He makes a pro and con list. He says, quote, when either way may lead to evil, of what worth is choice?
Mm. That's he like I said, he's in a
He's in a
pickle.
pickle. Yeah.
He's in a
But then
pickle.
he's like, wait, what if I wasn't the one who had to make this choice? It's a little earlier than Menaldor was planning, but given the situation, what if he chose to give the scepter to Aldarion now?
Oh my gosh. She's like, "Ooh, this is a little too tough. You know what? It's your job now.
Yeah.
It's yours."
But then he's starting to make his pro and con list. Then he starts reflecting on where things went wrong between him and Aldarion, saying, quote, his pride and my coolness have kept our minds apart so long. Like,
Mhm, mhm.
yes, we've been watching that happen for years now. If only you guys had been able to see eye to eye.
If we listen to each other's heart, find we're never too far apart, and maybe love is the reason why, for the first time ever, we're seeing it eye to eye, seeing it eye to eye,
I love it so
seeing
much.
it eye to eye.
You nailed that, by the way.
Oh, thank you,
Uh,
thank you.
uh, I cannot
I
not think of
wish
that
I was
song.
Powerline.
So he starts talking himself into it. Aldarion should totally get the scepter. That's totally what I'm going to do. I'm just going to give to him. I'm going to just relax in my retirement. And then he's like, okay, on the con list, is this really the best choice? Because in choosing Aldarion to make the choice, I know what he's going to choose. So I'm essentially choosing that choice. And that would obviously
Mhm.
be to go to war. And he's like, but wait, Erendis. Would Erendis be a factor in Aldarion's decision? Because, she would definitely want the other choice to stay peaceful. Could she somehow balance this out and influence him? And then, quote, Menaldor's thought turned in disquiet, again the disquiet, to Erendis and Emirae. But there is little hope there, if it should be called hope. He will not bend in such grave matters. I know her choice, even were she to listen long enough to understand.
Hmm.
So she knows how Arendis feels towards Aldarion at this time. He doesn't know how Aldarion's meeting with her went, but they have been communicating enough that Menaldor knows Arendis' patience for Aldarion is short, if not entirely gone.
She'd probably like, "You know what? Whatever. I don't care. Go fight in a war. See if you come back, woo. I don't whatever."
But it would involve all of her people as well. So I don't think she would be for that either.
But wouldn't it just mostly be dudes, which is like, cool, whatever. The dudes can
That's
go.
true.
The
Yeah.
dudes can leave.
Yeah. And this just really goes to show how well Daddy Menaldor understands Arendis. Like, he gets her. Quote, for her heart has no wings beyond Numenor, and she has no guess of the cost. If her choice should lead to death in her own time, she would die bravely. But what will she do with life and other wills? The valor themselves, even as I must wait to discover. Like, she's a
Hmm.
brave girl. She would do anything for Numenor, but would she sacrifice others for herself? I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I guess I'll just wait and see if the Valar will give me a sign. Maybe I'll hang out on the Middle Tarma and see if any eagles want to chat. We'll just leave our options open.
The Eagles wanna chat.
Yes. So while Venaldor is processing all of that, Aldarion has made his way back to Ravenna after his less than lovely trip to the westlands of Emirae. It's been 4 days since he came back to Numenor, and I'm getting the vibe that he wished he had never returned. And he arrives way-stained and wary, and immediately he goes to his house ship Iembar, where he has decided that's going to be his home now. His wife doesn't want him to come home with her. That house in Armenelos, no one's there. It's not really a home to him anymore because there's no one else in it. She certainly doesn't want him to stay in Emirae with her and her lady convent. So, yeah, houseboat it is. Quote, by that time, as he found to his embitterment, I like that term, many tongues were already wagging in the city.
Gossip.
Yes. News travels fast on a small island, but what do you think the hot goss was? What tea was being spilled here?
Did you hear that she didn't even let him in her house when he came home?
I heard he rode all day and all night, and she threw him out.
I heard he didn't even wanna see his baby girl. That's crazy.
I heard he got that Lady Meyer Unen on the side, if you know what I mean.
Whoa. I heard he gambled away all his riches over in that crazy land across the sea. It's crazy.
That's a good one. So, sick of all the gossip, Aldarion does something just so Aldarion. It is petty, it is immature, it is irrational, like, it just Aldarion. Quote, he gathered men in Romena and brought them to Armenelos. There he bade some fell all the trees, save one in his garden, and take them to the shipyards. Others he commanded to raise his house to the ground.
Raize, is that how you say it? Raise it?
Raze. Raise.
Yeah, Raze.
So
Whoa.
let's cut down all those trees that I didn't cut down before out of respect for her, but not anymore because she is dead to me. Let's actually get some use out of those things since they aren't scoring me any points anymore. Oh, and that newlywed house, burn it to the ground. No newlyweds will be happy there.
Oh my goodness. Oh
Yeah,
my goodness. He's gone
yeah,
mad.
yeah. But the one tree that he spared,
Was it the tree he got for his wedding?
mm-hmm. Quote, the white elven tree alone he spared, and when the woodcutters were gone, he looked at it, standing amid the desolation, and he saw for the first time that it was in itself beautiful. In its slow elven growth, it was yet but 12 feet high, straight, slender, youthful, now budded with its winter flowers upon upheld branches pointing to the sky. It recalled to him his daughter, and he said, quote, I will call you also Encalime. May you and she stand so in long life, unbent by will or wind, and unclipped.
Oh. Well, at least he appreciated it now.
Yeah. And I have looked high and low for artwork of this tree, and I cannot find one. If you find one, listeners, I would love to see one or make one yourself. I am not an artist, but I am the giver of ideas to the artists. I would like this,
You're
please.
called a creative director. That's what it's
Oh, I
called.
like it.
That's what that's called.
I like it, mainly because it has director in it. So that's actually where I'm going to leave you today.
With the forests burnt, his house burning and the forest being chopped down and
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Morgoth and Sauron at the doors of Middle Earth and
mm-hmm,
poor Meneldoors doesn't know what to do.
uh-huh,
My
uh-huh,
goodness, my goodness. It's
mm-hmm,
crazy.
mm-hmm. Well, thank you for joining us on this journey through Middle Earth. Don't forget, and Numenor. Don't forget to follow the Sisters of the Shire podcast on Instagram, where we share updates, fan art, and a few memes just to keep things fun. A big thank you to our patrons, Dan, Kevin, Victoria, Avery, and Ryan. We really appreciate your support. It keeps us going. We are forever grateful. It really means the world to us. If you would like to support the podcast and become part of our fellowship, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Sisters of the Shire podcast. Starting at just $3 a month, you can join as an elf friend of the Shire. $7 makes you an dwarf friend of the Shire. And $9 gets you in as one of our men or women friends of the Shire. I will say that a lot of you have joined for the free tier, and that is awesome. I'm glad that you even went to the website, but the free tier does not get you the goodies. I'm so sorry, but I
It's
appreciate
true.
you going that far.
Yeah, we're glad you're here.
Yes, but if you want the goodies, such as Abby's goodie bags or joining us on an episode or these shout outs every episode, you do have to be in that, at least the first tier, the elf friend. So just
And
letting
I
you know.
will say we're toying with the fact of if you are in a tier, a monetary tier, if you have like a small business that you have, running from your whatever home or whatever, stuff like that, and that could be something that we could promote a little tiny little snippet of like a little like, hey, check this person out. Instagram or website or stuff like that if
Yeah.
you are a, patron member, an elf friend, dwarf friend, or a man or woman friend of the Shire, that we've been talking about, like, "Hey, we could support our friends that way as they are supporting us." So if you,
Yeah.
have a, like I said, like a business you would love for us to do a little ad
Or like if you're an
for.
artist or something, we could shout you
Yeah,
out too. Yeah.
yeah, a little
We're
ad
all about
for,
the
we could do
artists
that.
here. As the creative director, I will say I love artists
They're pretty
and
cool.
they're pretty cool.
Great, now I've got eye to eye stuck in my head. Thanks a lot.
You got whale of a tail stuck in my head,
Ah, whale of a tale, I'll tell
and
you
that
that.
man shaking his butt.
Whale of a tale or
It's not
two.
even shaking his butt. He was like wiggling his butt somehow. I have so many questions for that actor who's probably dead at this point. R.I.P. R.I.P. for the wiggling butt. Okay, so as far as world news goes, the Netherlands, not to be confused with Netherlands, because I don't know how you guys did that.
The proper
Sneaky.
Netherlands. The
Yes.
proper noun Netherlands.
Yes. Overtook the Czech Republic. Bangladesh overtook Taiwan and Albania. Croatia overtook Luxembourg and Hong Kong. And you
What?
know what? Wakanda's still there at the bottom. So come on, Shooty.
Come on. Shuri and Zuri.
And other Uris.
Yeah,
And I will
and
also say,
Umbaku.
for as many listeners as we have, I would appreciate more ratings or reviews. We haven't had one in a while, and it makes me a little sad.
It takes like 2 seconds, guys. You could do it.
And it even like prompts you some of the times too. Like, want to give
Hey,
this show a rating?
go for
So,
it.
yeah, go for it. Just hit that 5 star. I'll even give you the answer. The answer is 5. And then, just hit it.
Whoa. Whoa.
And on Spotify, you can comment on the episodes or you can answer my trivia, or not trivia. They're not trivia questions. They're like poll questions that I find fun to make.
Mm,
So, yeah, look for those.
fun.
Yeah, we like to keep it fun
Well,
here.
yeah. Thanks for teaching me today.
You're
I'm glad we're
welcome.
getting back into talking to each other, seeing each other.
I know. I missed you.
Yeah.
If only we could see eye to eye.
Find we're never too far apart, and maybe love is the reason why. For the first time ever, we're seeing it eye to eye, seeing it eye to eye, seeing it eye to eye.
Just nail it every time. Like, I want to join in, but I also don't want to ruin it.
You could come in. You could be that lady who sings and they're like, ah,
I
like
don't
that
want to be the
lady.
fat lady.
Come on! Or what about the background dancer? Or
Ooh, with the high
Goofy.
ponytails.
Yeah.
The high ponytails. If anything, we see each other a little too eye to eye. Like, we're like brain to brain.
We share it. That's why we're
We do.
like brain dead for a while sometimes. You have the
It's true.
brain sometimes. I have the
Mm-hmm.
brain. Anyway. Well, thank you for teaching me today.
You're welcome. Until next time, I've been Ashley.
And I've been Abby, and this has been the Sisters of the Shire podcast. And we're sorry we got those songs stuck in your head, but we're glad you're here, and we hope you can join us next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for teaching me a day.